to this week's video. Basically we're carrying on removing trim, discovering extra bits of rust, doing a bit of measuring so that I know where the trim goes back, discussing indicators, etc. So yeah, hopefully it's of interest. Let's get on with it. Okay, so the XK suffers from the similar problems to lots of others on this bit of trim here. Obviously it's really bad on here, you can see, really bad, and also up here we're going to have to do something about that as well. There's no point respraying the whole car and not fixing these horrible bits. So let's get on and take some of those bits of trim off. Okay, so this basically lifts off. There you go, we've been in here before looking at it. As you can see, the corrosion gets in there and it's the aluminium corrodes and pushes it all apart. So that's terrible. They're no longer available, and if you can find one there, you know, £500–600 each. So this is probably too far gone, but potentially you can clean all that out and yeah, clean it all out, but it's still going to bulge, and then you've got to sand all this down, prime it, because this is an aluminium strip, and yeah, not good. Now I've seen on the YouTube channel To The Garage where talk about all of the various different problems, secrets as it were, for the XKR. What he did is he actually looked around and found a Mini, the UK Mini, the R50s, have a chrome piece of trim for their windows which you cut to size. So I think I'm going to have to do that. So this colour is Dorchester grey. You could respray it, but these the ones that come with the Mini are chrome. So I will have a look around the car parks and things like that. That's the problem. You want to try and find something suitable before you go down the route of spending, you know, a lot of money on a replacement. So I'm, you know, not totally against trying to repair this, but I just think it might be a lost cause. This vertical trim is held in by some screws, so we'll just take that off as well. Pull this rubber trim back. Maybe from here is better, that's better. Okay. Well, I'm impressed that none of those are rounded off or cause me grief. Sounds like it's glued on or taped on or something. Yeah, the usual double-sided foamy tape stuff. So now you can have a good look at this. The paint itself is fine, but this rubber trim that goes over it is not. So what we need to do is to take that piece of rubber off. You can see up here. Take it off, clean it all up. So clean all that up, Make sure that there's no corrosion there under the paint. Reuse that, of course. And then see what we can do about an alternative for this. There is some of that, does look like there's a tiny little bit of that felt. Not sure if you can see this. There is a bit of that felt here from like where the window rubs. Obviously there's lots of corrosion and rubbish inside, but you know, potentially that could be just something like this piece of rubber. A few years ago I did buy some rubber off of somebody on eBay, and potentially you could just put that on there, you know, and there you go, you've got the same look. Obviously cut it to size. I think maybe that's it, and then we'll look into whether or not you can get some kind of stick-on flocking or something that might give us that extra little bit of trim that was there. So that's the idea for that. Obviously it'd be the same on the other side. Okay, one of the reasons for taking the door trim off, etc., is to take this handle out and to do something different, you know, replace this piece of trim. Obviously we don't want to spray that when we spray the car. You can see there's bits missing here. There's like a plastic gasket. It just goes hard, brittle and breaks off. You can still buy them, they're £88 a pair, which is a bit much for a bit of plastic. There is an alternative via eBay, for example, where you can buy a foam gasket, £11 something for a pair. But I've also seen a video of somebody using that, and you end up with just looking like that bit there, or this bit here, with a gap. So I'm not so sure about that. So what I'm considering is maybe buy some of this sticky foam. I need to buy some tape to hold the trims back on, and maybe just make up my own. We'll see. I can try it, but we're a long way away from there. But I would like to get into here so that I can take that out, or get it ready to take out, because that's the whole point at the moment, is to get it ready so that I can respray it. Obviously still loads of work to do, but I thought I might as well do the trim while I wait for the weather to warm up a bit. I have just taken the mirror off, and as you can see, all the usual aluminium corrosion, so a lot of cleaning up needed there too. So we can probably look to take this piece off as well, because we could tape it up, I suppose, but if we don't, if we can take that bit of rubber off, you get another bit that makes a better finish for the paint job. Okay, so yeah, more work to do there. Been working my way getting the trim off the sides, and just thought I'd show you I've got clear reflectors on the rear bumper, but they don't have, as you can see, they have that circular part there is a fitting for a lens to go in, but we don't have those. I think it's possibly something to do with the US options. Maybe they have marker lights in there. This is the rear, and where that indicator is, there is actually a wiring. There's the socket there, with a mounting point, but that's just to block it off, as you can see. So it might be worth investigating to see if we can get a bulb in those, and it's the same for the front. There is an indicator here, and I've got I do happen to have white ones of those with the orange indicator. That's that's what was on the car when I bought it. These are all white when I bought it. And again, this point here, what I haven't checked to see is what, you know, I have a white one here. I'll show you it in a second. What I don't know is whether there's a cable in there, a plug. And just for reference, this is the passenger side. It too has the moulding but no cutout. And obviously showing little signs of showing some signs of wear there, and the grubby piece of white trim. Might be worth getting new ones of these, because if you spray the whole car and it looks gleaming, and then you put some grubby old bits of trim on it, it doesn't look so good. One thing I have noticed is that there's some rust here on the wing, and just around here too. Now what that actually is where this front bumper, as it were, this lower section, there's actually a couple of bolts that go through here, and obviously they've rusted on the other side. So we'll probably have to cut out. I'm going to have to take this bottom piece off, and then cut those out there and here, and anything inside there, cut it out, rust protect it, and then as part of the respray it'd be repaired. But it does mean I've got to take this off, which I wasn't planning on doing, so that's going to be fun. Anyway, never gets any easier, does it? Right, there's a strut that goes from here, along here, through this hole here, and then under here to that position there. Okay, so we've got the end that goes onto the shock mount. You then got this foam, but this foam is all cracked and faded away. And then at this end, for some reason, it's gone really, really rusty. So obviously we'll clean all that up and put some epoxy on it before we put it back in. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Cheers, bye.